Hey, what is going on guys? Jock here and welcome back. We are finally here with APA Wi-Fi Season 2. As you can see on the screen, we have a fiery new roster of coaches. You know, a lot of players we've never battled before. We just look across, we've never battled Adelaide Umbrians before, I think that's Cressel Key, never battled the Montreal Expos, never battled that's Nightar, Nijmeg, Nose Sleeves, never battled them, I think that's Automatic, never battled him. We have the Colorado Rapidash and Moonlight Swami, new coach for us. And oh god, Seattle, Sharingan, Superiors and Lindemar, we never battled him, and then Lax and his Sleeping Twilight. So it's a lot of new coaches, a lot of old faces that we've battled before, but hopefully we come into this the favourite. Maybe not, but I'd hope so. Come steal another championship. But going into this, obviously we were asked back, mainly because we were the champions. I feel like if we didn't win, maybe they would have kicked me. You know, they banned me from talking in the chat because they're all arseholes. But, you know, we're coming back. We're going to reclaim our title, hopefully. But this was a standard GBA draft. You know, nothing special. I think we allowed a few mons that you maybe think, oh, what are you doing with Deluxe Speed Mega King Sam. But other than that, very normal. All megas that were released at the time of draft, which was a few weeks ago or last night if you watched the draft stream. But yeah, a lot of those megas, so I think about 90% of megas were allowed. Tier 1 through 5, 2 tier 3s, and then your 400 free picks, so very standard. We got 4th in the draft, so I'm just going to fire over. I'm going to take a wee pause, set up the face cam, face reveal is here, and I'll fire off to my first pick. We are back with my first pick of the draft and my ugly mug in the bottom right hand corner. So I'm going to give you all 5 seconds to type out your forehead jokes, because I like to take the piss out of people's foreheads even though I have a fucking huge spam myself. So, you know, get your forehead jokes in the comments and we'll get on with this. But and also I'm at an odd angle. My computer desk is actually here, but as you see the blinds here, light shines in on the back of my head and you can barely see my face, and I thought if I'm going to do face cam, people are going to want to see what they've got to. You can't take the piss out of it if you can't see it. You got to see the ugly face to take the piss out of it. So, all that done, we're here with the draft, excited. Mega Glade is a first pick. This mon is fantastic. I got a little bit of stick for drafting this mon so early, and I don't give a shit. I think it is one of the best, if not the best mega in the format. I know it's on a little bit of a hype train now, which might have influenced me a little bit because I was worried that people might, you know, watch bigger leagues and might be like, oh shit, it goes early in bigger leagues, maybe I should take it. So I went with that. I got peer pressured into it, thinking that maybe someone else would pick up, but that doesn't bother me because I know the Mega Glade is a sort of Pokemon that I can bring 12 out of 12 weeks and it'll do well. It's such a varied Pokemon. People are going to expect me to run 4 attacks and just hit hard every week, which that's not what Glade does. If you use Glade like that, you're probably using Glade poorly, because Glade has this. Before we even get onto its stats and its offenses, it comes from the God of War line, which means it has an incredible status move array and like support moves and whatnot. It has Thunder Wave, it has Toxic, it has Will-O-Wisp, it has Taunt, Wish. Is that it? Yeah. There might be more. They could have lost, but it has fantastic amounts of support moves, which then make it very difficult to prep for, because you know, if you just prep for a Breaker Glade, and it's got things like Wish, Protect, Bulk Up. As I say, it's got Setup, Bulk Up, Sword Stance. It's got Mega Buff made this Pokemon fantastic. Now coming in with that 110 speed, coupled with 115 speed F, 95 defense, 165 attack. This Pokemon has one of the most outrageous stat distributions in the game. It hits hard, it's fast, it's bulky enough to set up. It has really good coverage with Elemental Punches, Poison Jab. Obviously, Dual Stab of Fighting and Psychic's very good. And I just think Glade is one of the best megas in the format. Has access to Priority and Shadow Sneak and Vacuum Wave. They're not the best priority, but it's weak to Ghost. So your fast Ghosts are one of the ways you might want to take Glade out. Thinking maybe Scarf Ghost, like a Scarf Mistman or a Scarf Gengar. Not the best sets, but it's a possibility. So being able to Shadow Sneak them when they're weak could come into Glades, could come out to help Glade. So, but more than likely I'm just going to be setting up, Drain Punching all the health back and just busting through teams with Glade. Really powerful mon, and I am so happy that I got it. I've wanted to use this mon for months and I just kept getting it sniped. I kept planning on round 3, we'll get Glade in round 3. That seems like a good round to go round 1 or 2. So I just thought, you know what, fuck it, let's get it round 1. We can build a fantastic team around it. We can punch people in the head with Mega Gallade. So we were quite early in the draft, round pick 4 as I said, and so we had 24 picks I think, no, is it? Yeah, 24 picks until our next pick. So I never really planned for the next pick, because there was a lot of good Pokemon on there, sort of like, obviously because there's only 3 Pokemon gone before Mega Gallade, and I think they were Salamence because it was a tier 2, which is scary. Salamence a tier 2, Landorus T, and Mega Scizor, as you can see from General Tariel on the bottom there. So there's so many good ones, like Mega Gardevoir, Kyurem, Deoxys Speed, Manaphy, Mega Kangaskhan, Victini, Jirachi, Necrozma. So many fantastic Pokemon left that I never planned, and then, you know, they all started going. Tapu Koko goes, Mega Lopunny goes, Garchomp goes, Infernape, I think, no, it was Mew, Mega Kangaskhan, Kyurem, and then, so all this power just started disappearing. But one Mon fell through the cracks. One Mon that I think should have maybe gone before, because I think letting me have it with Mega Gallade was a silly idea. That Pokemon is Weavile. I know it's not, I'm not going to say I made this core up, this core is very well known, you know, there's videos on it, I've got friends who have used this core in the past, I think Hugo's used this core in the past. I'm not going to say I made it up, but I'm going to abuse it because I think it is one of the best defensive cores you can think of, with Gallade only struggling with Psychic types and Ghost types, and Weavile just, you know, you see that smart Weavile's got right, you know, that's because he knows Psychic and Ghost types have got no way to beat young Weavile. You know, fantastic speed, fantastic attack. I think they're both around 125, maybe 120 speed, something around there. And it just, oh, Ice and Dark is almost perfect, because knockoff spam is one of the most powerful things in the League format, because items are so important, whether that be berries or leftovers, scarves, or things that let you set up. Whatever these items are, they're so important in League format, so being able to just knock them off and still hit so hard with Weavile is such a fantastic thing. Ice again is the best offensive typing in my opinion, and you know, Weavile does have, you know, steel types and fairy types might give Weavile a little bit of an issue, but it does have access to low kick and poison jab, so Weavile can, so we are a bit weak to fairy obviously, and a little bit, you know, could say we're a little bit sort of weak to, like, I don't know, well, maybe not. Weavile's weak to steel, but we've got the Gallade, it's got low kick, so it should be fine. But the fairy was a little bit of my worry, you know. I don't have the greatest way to break through fairies. Obviously, got Stab Ice and Stab Psychic to sort of hurt them, but they do hit us. Hit our two main, like the 2 Mons we have built a team around, are hit very hard by fairy. So I really wanted to patch that up. So we went with Skarmory. This is a Pokemon I have used so many times. I think this might be the 3rd or 4th time I've drafted it, just because it's so reliable. It gets very stally. People don't like facing Skarmory, and I'm not the biggest fan of playing stall. I like to have more balance is my playstyle, I think, and I think Skarmory fits into that perfectly well. Yeah, it doesn't offer much of the Volt Switch or the offense, but it has that balance that lets my offense shine, I feel like. Obviously, I'm quite a fan of Hazard Stack. I don't draft Hazard Stack teams too much, but I like to have at least one Mon who can fire out hazards. You know, I've pissed off a lot of my friends doing that before. I know Hugo hates it when I hazard stack him, because I don't think I've actually lost when I hazard stack him. I think that's usually how our games go. If I hazard stack, I win. If I don't hazard stack, he beats me. So he's probably got more skill, but you know, hazards are a bit busted and none of us like removal. So obviously having a Mon that can have Stealth Rocks and Spikes is fantastic. Defog, not a move I click very often, but it is a move you need on the team just in case you face Sticky Webs, which, spoilers, later in the draft, Sticky Webs do go, so we are probably going to, I think it is possibly in our division as well, which means we will 100% face Sticky Web this season, which means we need to be able to get them off the field. But again, fast taunt, well, not fast taunt, but it's faster than most walls. Skarmory has, I think it's about a base 70 speed, which is, you know, high for a wall, so being able to taunt other walls is always like fantastic, stop them healing, or getting rid of your hazards or whatnot. So Skarmory, incredibly one-dimensional. You're talking hazards, roost, taunt, defog, Ironhead, or Brave Bird. Like, outside of those moves, probably not running very much. And then you're probably talking max HP every time, mix of defense, mix of speed, a little bit of speed for other walls obviously, and Bob's your uncle. You know, if I could tell people I'm bringing Skarm, bringing this EV spread, and I'm bringing this moveset, and they'll still struggle to break through Skarm, because Skarm is predictable but it's reliable, and that's why I think round 3 I was so happy to pick it up. It is another one of our tier 1, and as we said, it's GBA style, which means 180 out of our 400 means we're down to 220, so we can't even pick up another tier 1. So we've got Weavile and Scarm there. Weavile, Scarm and Delay, that's the core of 3 that needs to drag us to another championship. And to help with them, we went Haxorus, and this was a mon that, like, all the dragons had gone, the Latties had gone, Gudra had gone, Kieran Black had gone, Garchomp had gone. So I'm like, Christ. So there was 3 good dragons left, because I wanted an offensive dragon. I knew I wanted an offensive dragon, because I've used Gudra recently, I've used Latias recently, I've used Druddigon recently. I wanted an offensive dragon, so you're talking Komodo, Kieran, or Haxorus. I went Haxorus because I want a Dragon Dance, so that just, I don't set up very often. Some of my best seasons in draft league format, you're talking, my championship season last season, I don't think I set up once. Even with the Volcaron on my team, I don't think I set up once. Talking APA Showdown season 7, where I'm currently in semi-finals, I maybe clicked Rock Polish twice with Groudon, and I set up in the Crosmo once. I don't set up very often. Obviously Holucha, I think I set up five games with Holucha, which I kind of want to do that again. Like, Holucha was such a big threat and that was really, I felt like that was a turning point in my draft career. Like, obviously I'd done well in TOL, hadn't set up very much there either, but like APA season 5 was a turning point, and it boosted my confidence in myself, but that was heavily relying on setup sweeper. So I thought, you know what, let's just buy a bunch of setup sweepers together. We got Weavile, now we pick up Haxorus, who's one of the most devastating setup sweepers. It was between that or Como, and Como was ass. I don't know, if you like Como, you're gay. I'm not homophobic, don't worry, it's just a joke. And but Haxorus, Poison Jab, Iron Tail, Outrage, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, all these sort of moves are just to blow through its counters. On top of access to Swords Dance if you just want to use it as a big breaker, access to Dragon Dance if you want to clean up games. 2 fantastic abilities in Unnerve and Mold Breaker. You're probably going to use Mold Breaker more often because people aren't going to put berries as their counters just in case you bring a nerf, because it's it's completely wasted prep. So you could run Mold Breaker pretty much every week and they'll think still not going to bring berries. But I think obviously people are going to think of the setup sets, but there's also Choice Band is a fantastic breaker coming off of a 147 attack. That's sky high. For a tier 3 to have 147 attack is scary. Like, that's 22 more than Weavile, which is mad. So Choice Banded will clean through things. Like Choice Banded Outrage, if it's not a Steel type or a Fairy type, it's probably getting 2-hit KO'd, if not all code. It's such a scary Pokemon. Yeah, you might have to sack your Haxorus, but when you've got Weavile and Gallade, you sometimes do need to just sack them on to get rid of a physical wall, because not many teams will have mons that take on Weavile, Mega Gallade, and Haxorus. So, but Scarf's another fantastic set. We've seen Scarf Garchomp and Scarf Flygon do very well in League format in the past. Before Flygon even got access to Dragon Dance, Scarf was all it done, Scarf Outrage cleaning, and both of these mods have less attack and have had fantastic success at Scarf Outrage cleaning, which Haxorus is a little bit slower, which might mean like Scarf base 100s will cause it issues and whatnot, but the main thing is Haxorus is fantastic. Dragon, great coverage. It's just, I think Haxorus is a fantastic mod. That's all I want to say. So, next pick is a very surprising pick. Looking back, I'm like, you idiot, what the fuck were you doing? But I was busy, and it came back to me. I didn't have my plan. I had basically picked out 5 mons. The 5th mon is coming out, even though it's a tier 5, and I did plan on taking it later, but I was busy. I didn't have time to make a plan, so I was like, I have one more mon on my plan, I'll just take that, and that was Kabutops, and that was because Kabutops is a tier 5. I think Kabutops is a fantastic Pokemon, especially in tier 5. There is a rain team, which means Kabutops does have a chance to come in and give that rain team issues, but I mainly took it because I thought Kabutops as a tier 5 was stupid. I know there was issues with our draft. Basically, there was a lot of tier changes made. There was a lot of issues with the tier changes made, and for some reason they reverted. So I don't know whose fault that was. I think it was just a dark error, so I'm not going to blame anyone. I would have thanked them for letting me get Kabutops in tier 5. Because 120 attack, 80 speed, that's pretty good. Has access to Aqua Jet, which is a nice priority. You see we've now got 3 users of priority, so that's nice. Stone Edge, although it misses, it's very strong attack, it's really good attack. Has access to like weak armor, Swords Dance, so again you've got another setup sweeper here. And I just thought, another rapid, like an actual rapid spinner now, so if I want to bring hazard removal and I want to stack, well, we've got a rocker, we've got a rapid spinner. It's a good mod. I think it pairs okay with Skarmory with that being a quad grass beat, but I'm not happy with this pick very much. Like, but I'm happy with it as a Pokemon, but it was stupid to take it this early. And I kind of pay for it later on with snipes that I get later down the road. So, I did have to pay for it. It is a good Pokemon, but bit of a waste of pick. So, next up, Decidueye, the boy. This is a Pokemon I've used before. I used it in TOL and I loved it. I think it's a fantastic Pokemon. I think it's very underrated. People sort of, oh, it's just a cool design. That's why people are like, no. It's so specially bulky. It's got good HP, okay defense at about 70, but that's fine. It's basically a special wall because of access to Roost. It's a spin blocker and a hazard removal, which is fantastic in one Pokemon. Nasty Plot and Swords Dance Pass, which again, fantastic. You can pass. Although we have no special attackers now, which is a bit of an issue. We're really physical. Well, I've got 100 base 100 special attack on this, so and 100. I think it's 100 special attack and 107 attack. So it's a bit of a mixed attacker, which again makes me like it even more. And it's basically design-wise, it's one of my favourite Pokemon ever. So that's, I have a soft spot for it, but oh, it's just so good. I don't know what to say. Spin Block, Defog, it's just such a fantastic Pokemon. I don't know what else to say. It's pretty. I was going to say it's one-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. I think the reason I like it is because it's got so much to say. But I've said that, so we'll just move on. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I don't know how long it's been. I ramble quite a lot as I'm rambling right now. And we pick up Tier 4 Gardevoir. I didn't even know this thing was in Tier 4. I got sniped over Aromatisse, and that's what I was going to go for my Tier 4. That's what I was going to go for my Fairy, and then Marcus pops up in the chat, and Marcus is like, "Why is Gardevoir at Tier 4?" And I was like, "Shh, shh, 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 shh. Keep that to yourself, Marcus, because you've just told me my next pick." So Gardevoir in Tier 4 again was another one that it was meant to be Tier 3. It was moved to Tier 3. Doc reverted. So we've abused the tier changes again. What can we do? Gardevoir is fantastic. It's a bit funny with Gallade, you get a little La Familia. Got a little family core going on there, but again, as we said with Gallade, it comes from the same line, so it has a fantastic support move pool on Taunt, Wish, Thunder Wave, and actually Guard gets Healing Wish, which Gallade doesn't, because it's actually Guard that learns it, not Ralts or Curlia. Healing Wish, that's a fantastic move. We have 3 fantastic setup sweepers, so to have a... Oh god, I just noticed Skarmory spell wrong. Has that been spelled wrong the whole time? No, it's not. The minute it gets to Nightingale's slides, they're all just screwed up. Idiot. But yeah, Healing Wish for our setup sweepers is fantastic. Another Wish Passer. But Gallade and Gardevoir having 68 base HP, they're not the best Wish Passers, but it's Wish Passing. We can't complain. But Guard has a 135 special attack and like, is it 115 Speed F? So it's so fat. People sleep on it. Like, people are like, oh, you're just going to Scarf it all the time, but no. Defensive Gardevoir is a very viable set. Because it can wish itself up, leftovers, and Moonblast and Psyshock, even non-invested off of that 135 base special attack is scary, So I think Gardevoir is going to be a very important part of our team. I think it's one that I can use it well. I'm confident in my ability that I'll use it well, so that's fine. We'll go on to our next Pokemon, which is very well known to be paired with Skarm quite well, and that is the boy Gastrodon. Gastrodon has fantastic water immunity, which we actually are quite weak to water. Like, Decidueyes are only resist, and well, like Haxorus, but I'm probably never going to use Haxorus as a resist for anything. So Decidueyes are only resist. Getting an immunity is really nice. I think only having one weakness, which is grass. We have Decidueye, which is a fantastic grass switching. We have then Skarmory, which is a fantastic sort of grass switching. So I was okay with that weakness to grass. I was like, got some okay Stealth Rockers in Kabutops. We've got an okay Stealth Rocker in Skarmory. So maybe my ground type not, but Stealth Rocker's not the biggest issue. So that was fine with me. So I want a Gastrodon, reliable recovery. Can go physical, it can go special, attacking and defensively. Cursed Gastrodon's obviously a well-known, quite popular set, but more than likely it's a sort of toxic-y stall recover mon that's just here. It's my water check, it's my possibly an electric check, but they have access to sort of hidden power grass, which is going to nut on Gastrodon's face very hard, so maybe not. But I'm very happy with Gastrodon. It's a Pokemon I really like. I think I'm using another League V UPC right now, and again, as I said, I really like Gastrodon, so not much else to say apart from Pretty Slug, and got onto Yanmega. This is one of my favourite Pokemon of the Draft League. I think it's a little bit of a meme because I know not a lot of people are too big on it, but I love it. It just hits so hard. Specs Tinted Lens is fantastic, and I was okay picking that up. I know people are going to be like, oh, you have 3 hazard removers, that's pretty standard, but for me that's a lot. Like, I went a whole season with Charizard Y, only hazard removing like twice, so hazards don't scare me, even with a quad weak man. I don't care, it doesn't bother me. So having Yanmega, it doesn't bother me. I love this Pokemon. I used it in UPFC a little bit, and it was devastating. As it got like a 116 special attack, 95 speed. Defenses don't really matter because you don't want it taking hits, but tinted lens is where it comes, because it basically means you have to quad resist Yanmega to switch in, because it basically bumps all resists one level up. So if you resist, it's neutral. If you quad resist, it's only a 2 times resist, which means specs off of a 116 base resist, 116 base special attack with no resists, it's getting kills. It's just getting kills. And if they don't have good Yanmega resists, well, maybe you don't need tinted lens. Maybe you need speed boost to clean up end game. If they're weak to bug, if they're weak to flying, then you just speed boost and you run through them like a train. So Yanmega's not the sort of Pokemon that can come very often, but it's a Pokemon that can do its job. I've used it well in the past, and I can use it well in the future. And it's actually, I forgot to mention, 2 Z-move users, all offensive. It's one of my Z-move users. That was a meme. Someone dared me, said I wouldn't do it, so I done it. I don't like Z-moves as they are. So, and the other one's Haxorus, just because it's a setup sweeper. So it's every now and again having a setup sweeper as an ability to just nut through like a Hippowdon or something like that. I was going to say Scarm, but we have Scarm, so it's not going to switch in. So, second last, 2 months to go. I hate tier 2, so it's time to meme. We pick up Shit Valley, the shittest Pokemon to come out of Gen 7. Great design, piss stats at base 95 across the board, but it's funny because it can be all typing and it's just a meme. Shit Valley, that's what me and Hugo call it because it's a meme. But actually Silvali's not that bad of a Pokemon. I think Silvali is very good for just writing a Mon out of the game. If you're very weak to Mon, Silvali can check it well, because 95, 95, 95 is, it's not the best bulk, but if you resist everything a Pokemon can do, well then you're going to do a good enough job, I think. So, and basically I was drafting Mons I had fun with, so I was glaring weaknesses like no electric type, and you know there was just no normal types. I thought, well, why don't just pick up a Mon that can be any type? You don't lose a type if you've got a Mon that can be any type. You know, it's my electric type now. It's my I don't know what other types have I not got. I couldn't tell you. I don't care. So Valley bad, but actually has good coverage, has access to Source Dance and Flame Charge, so you can again set up with it. Not the best, but main reason I picked up Shit Valley was Parting Shot. From my championship run last season, Alolan Persian was the best. Like, that was the best Pokemon on that team by far. I think Alolan Persian was the reason I won that championship. I think that Pokemon is outrageously good. I think Parting Shot is one of the main reasons, because a Pokemon is not threatening at -1. Like, you could completely eradicate a Specs if they're Specs, or you basically give yourself ample abilities to set up. So if I Parting Shot out on something, bang, Weavile can set up, Gallade can set up, Kabutops can set up, Decidueye can set up, Haxorus can set up. So I think having Parting Shot it's good on this team. A team that's very heavily reliant on setup. Having Parting Shot is good. Also has access to U-turn, so you know, got a bit of a core going on with, you know, Decidueye and Yanmega, Silvally. It's a shit Volt Turn core, you don't have to tell me that, but it's a Volt Turn core, so get over it. And last pick, memes on memes on memes. We went type null. We gotta get more family members. You got Gallade, Gardevoir, got Silvally, type null. Can't break up a family, so I'm gonna go 12-0, because if people break up, if I bring Gallade and Gardevoir at the same time, or Silvally and type null, I'm going to go 12-0, because how can you break up a family? Are you that much of a dick? I don't think you're that much of a dick. So, type null. No, all joking aside, type null is actually quite important to the team, so I was very weak to Ghost. Like, my Ghost switching at this point in time was Weavile, which, bad if they whisk me, or whatever. So actually having a normal type was really important for the team, a bulky normal type at that. And people sleep on type null. Type null is bulkier in all ways than P2. Obviously P2 has Recover, which makes P2 busted as all hell, but type null it's bulkier, it has U-turn, doesn't have Parting Shot sadly, so Valley Land's Parting Shot, not type null, but has the outrageous coverage. Obviously as a normal type it just has that Stab Return, which is nice. I think it gets Body Slam. Just I do think it's actually going to help us as a Pokemon, so type null in the van. Good Mon. Daddy Shit Valley, and that is our draft. I'm going to stop being weird. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck in winning another championship, because we're going to do it. We've got Gallade, we've got Weavile. This is a championship winning squad. And APE Wi-Fi is my domain. It's my domain.